Okay, ladies, we are on live.
Thank you, Rashmi ji. Hello, everybody. I welcome you all to IIW's talk show, The Badass Beauty. IIW is inspiring Indian women, and its motto is uplift, support, and rise. IIW has collaborated with many organizations. One such esteemed organization is WICI, which is Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. With WICI, we run a helpline for prevention and support of domestic abuse victims. Every Saturday, we organize this talk show, The Badass Beauty, wherein we interact with women who have gone above and beyond to help other women achieve their dreams. Today on the show, our esteemed guest is Charulatha ji. She is an electronics engineer from IIT Kharagpur. She did her MBA from Indian School of Business, Hyderabad. During her corporate journey, she was in business development in a SaaS company. She was also a coder in an electronic design automation tech company, and she was a corporate liaison with an NGO. She is a mother to two daughters who were her inspiration to start the writing journey. Now, Charulatha ji is an author and an entrepreneur. She has published her series of books for the children called the Beaming Child series. She also runs an Instagram page called Beaming Child, which aims to make parenting easier for all of us. She is also a juror in many of the writing competitions. It is such a privilege to have you today, Charulatha ji.
Thank you so much.
I would like that if you could take us through your journey.
Sure. So
how was your childhood and how did you decide to become an engineer? And then if you can take us through that.
Definitely. So my father changed a couple of jobs, and so I have moved quite a bit, during my childhood. Mm-hmm. So like every 3-4 years we used to move. Okay. And I have to say that like books have always been my best friend. So I call myself an introvert, and I have all the traits of one. And so one of my saviors has always been books. So I've been I used to love reading. So I used to become member of all the lending libraries around, and
okay.
So that was one of my main, I think, saviors. To help me through all the changes that were happening in my life. And I've always been a reader. But of course, I was also good in math and science. And, after 10th, it was just, I don't know, like peer pressure, you could call it. Or everybody was like, yeah, you're good in math and science, so engineer, you have to become an engineer. तो मैंने भी इतना वो like दिमाग नहीं लगाया. I mean, I didn't think through it that much कि what do I really want to do, and I just went with the engineering. Everybody was going into engineering, so I also went into engineering, and so that was my journey to get into engineering. And even post that, I've been working. I was in a tech startup initially.
Okay.
And then, something again, I was like, this is not enough. Like what I'm doing, I didn't find it very satisfactory. So in that journey of, trying to find like, what is it that would really, like, what do you call that? Kindle my passion. What is it that really get me to, jump out of bed in the morning? So उस journey में I went into ISB to do my MBA. I thought maybe MBA is the answer to this. मतलब शायद यही है. But then again, like उसके बाद भी, I mean, I didn't find it, as exciting as I thought it would be. And suppose that I was working with this, as business development, and I was working in business development. And
this SaaS company, no?
Yeah.
Software as
yeah. I mean, and then my daughters were also born post MBA and post while I was working with this SaaS company. And so it was around 3 years back. I mean, should I continue? Do you want to?
Yes. You please continue.
Yeah. So it was around 3 years back, when again, that thing hit me again. Ki, matlab, I'm not finding it exciting enough. Like, this is not, I don't think ki yahi mera life hai. Matlab, being in business development and, making presentations, and I wasn't sure ki yahi hai, so, and also I was thinking ki, is it really worth it? I mean, being not really happy with it, and spending time away from your family, away from your children, is it really worth it? I started weighing in those things, and at that point I quit my job.
Okay.
3 years back, I said ki ye nahi karna hai, but let me figure out mujhe karna kya hai. So I quit my job. I sort of took some time to decide what I want to do, where I want to go into, what is it that I really want to do. So that's how the whole journey into writing a series came about.
Okay. So this has been amazing. I mean, sometimes people, once they are not very familiar with the thing they are doing, one jump is okay or one shift is okay, but you have done two shifts or 2-3 shifts, but still you're confident that now I have got what I want. So that is amazing. Kudos to you. What was it that, I know your daughters were the inspiration in, writing, to start the writing journey, but what was it that was missing that you wanted to give to your daughters? I mean, what was missing in their writing for children's book?
So what I found was, so my daughter, at least one of them, is a avid reader.
Okay.
And she loved reading all these series of books. But all of them turned out to be either American or British, or at max, I think I've seen maybe one Australian series.
Okay.
But they were all American and British. And I thought, like, where are the Indian series? Especially for that age group, like 5 to 9 years.
Okay.
I found that there was a gap. And, that's where I thought I could contribute. And I wanted my, children to read about characters that they can identify with and they can see around each other.
Definitely.
Because they read so many American British series and they watch only American British shows. So finally, when kuch bhi name karna hota hai, it's always like Catherine and Elizabeth. I was like, where did all the Indian names go and where?
You can't play name place animal thing with your kids because everything is Americanized or
all the names. So I mean, that was like my initial starting point. I was like, chalo, although I don't have a writing background and I don't even think matlab creative background tha mera. I loved books, but engineering, MBA, I don't think you can call it like a creative background. And initially I was not confident that I can do it. And I actually contacted some writers. I said, see, I have this idea, so like this is the kind of story I want. And I put it up across all these sites, the freelancing sites. But somehow, I didn't like any of the stories that they sent. And jo bhi stories bhej rahe the, I had like some 25 comments on that story. And this is how you can change it. And then finally, I just decided that instead of telling so many changes to them, let me attempt it myself.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So then I started writing. So I wasn't confident to start off right away, but eventually I got there.
So one of the things which boosted your confidence that, I mean, you took the initiative of contacting other authors and other writers who were in this field.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is amazing. Many of the women, they would also start writing. And sometimes if they have a block, they would at least know as to, how to come out of it.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Which things give you the maximum idea for this child series?
My daughter's lives.
Okay.
Through that. And sometimes also like, I keep thinking about, what are there are some things that, our generation has been brought up with.
Okay,
right?
I know.
But there are many things I feel which is missing now because like we are much more lenient with our children, or much more we are like, "Arey, unko kya chahiye? Unko kya chahiye?" In that, I mean, we go into that, and I feel a lot of things are, core values like just hard work,
Right.
like persistence.
Hmm.
Because our schools demanded it, our curriculum demanded it, we did it, and we are able to do it. But I see that like my children, their school is very chilled out, so nobody asks you to like work very hard. So I felt that there are some core values which are missing, and a lot of thing about not much of compassion for others.
Oh yes.
So like people are, I mean, I don't know if we as parents have brought that about with the kids or whatever it is. Like I feel they are very self-involved and self, I don't want to say selfish.
Me. Or everything is
Everything revolves around them.
only me.
So I thought some core values which I felt was missing, I wanted to introduce that through these identifiable characters, like in some fun storylines, that because nobody likes to be preached to. I'm sure like we don't like it, our children don't like it. So
Right.
I didn't want to make it like a moral story, but I wanted to sprinkle these core values in all the stories so that somewhere they'll start identifying with it and imbibing it. So that was completely the idea.
So the two core values which I could get out of our discussion was, one was hard work, on which you are focusing. The other is compassion. Which other core values are you?
Resilience, right? Like
Right.
because they just, if they can't do anything easily, then they quit.
Oh yes.
So it's okay to not find things easy. It's okay if it's difficult, but you need to keep trying. Like even if you fail, you bounce back and you do it again. You try other ways to do it. So that was one.
Exactly. Any such incident from your daughter's life which inspired you to put that exact incident into a story? If you could share that.
Exact incident, I wouldn't say, but it's sort of all related.
Maybe related.
Yeah, related. So my daughter always comes and says, "Oh, boys in my class are bad," like like a blanket statement.
I know.
All boys are bad. So then, like, I took that as a topic, with the story called Diya and the New Neighbor, where she wants a girl as a neighbor. And unfortunately, a boy comes and she, initially she's like, "Oh, I hate boys." And, then they become friends and they find some common interests. Like, so just to say that, I mean, we have a lot of preconceived notions and we ourselves stereotype many times saying all boys are bad, all boys are naughty, and so I mean that was something which came up. It wasn't exactly the incident, but modeled on it, I would say.
Good. And the Instagram page of Beaming Child, how did that thought come into your mind? Am I audible?
Now you are. Sorry, I think there was some internet
I'll
issue.
repeat the question. I was just asking you as to how did the thought of the Instagram page, the Beaming Child, came to your, came into existence, or how did you think about it?
Okay, so again, as a parent, right? Like I find it very challenging. Like I feel it's very tough to parent a child. I mean, I don't know, people do it easily, but I have certain things, like one, I'm an introvert, two, I'm a people pleaser. So, I hate disciplining them because that would mean they don't like me in my mind. So I had so many challenges that I used to keep reading. Like I Google my parenting issues, like, nobody's
left, right, and center.
I'll be like Googling, okay, what should I? So I used to Google that a lot. Like almost every day I'll be Googling, like, this happened, how should I deal with it? This happened, how should I deal with it? Okay. And then, because of that, I started reading up a lot. And then I thought, why don't I share? I mean, I keep reading, so why don't I share it also? So, and that was like the genesis of, I thought, let me share it through my page. And I only promote my books. मतलब कितना ही promote कर सकते हो books को, it's like So I thought, why don't I, whatever I'm reading, at least I can put that out as good content and people can,
No, it is an amazing page. This Instagram page is really
Thank you so
amazing.
much.
When you say that, now you are an author, what was the most difficult transition? Was it the transition from being from the corporate world to the being a full-time author? Because the corporate world is not giving you maybe the time for your family and all, but it must be paying you a huge amount. But now,
Yeah.
since you are author, maybe you are getting the satisfaction, but maybe in the initial stage you must not be earning that much from the books. Ultimately later on it would come, I don't know, but this is a generic thought, because when a woman wants to transition, she also keeps in mind as to what would be the financial impact of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for that, I have to thank my husband, because he's been holding a stable job and this thing that I could venture into it. I could get into what I wanted to do. Yeah, because as you said, yeah, I mean, being an author, you don't get monetary this thing, at least initially, you just about break even, I think. So which is definitely not enough to sustain you going forward. Yeah. So that aspect was there, but for me, the more importantly, or more what I found more difficult was doing it, staying at home, because I was staying at home, and that is tough, because as a writer, I mean, you need mental space, not only physical space, but that mental space. And when you're at home, all the household things keep revolving. So I found it tough that I have to sort of, give that space to myself, or take out time, especially just to write. So that was what I found the toughest. At least when you're working, you have those fixed hours.
Exactly.
And you know that in those fixed hours, you're not going to do anything else. But when you're doing it at home, there is no demarcation. When does your work end? When does your, so it's always I found that really tough. I mean, I still find that tough, that being at home. And
no, I fully agree. Work from home is really tough.
Yeah.
Sure. They say that it is easy, but it is really tough.
It's tough.
Have you thought of any, are you working on any other book which might come in the future, or if you can share with us?
So I'm continuing the series. So I've released books till now.
How many books are there in the series?
Till now, 6.
6 are there, right?
6 are there. 3 more I've written.
Wow.
I'm in the process of getting them illustrated. Hopefully in the next couple of months, the 3 more should come.
Okay.
Then, I mean, I feel at least 12 books should be there, and then I can move on to something else. I want to write for older children now that my children are also growing up.
Right.
So now I want to write for their age group. Something.
So the Beaming Child series is ideally from which age group?
5 years to 9 years.
5 years to 9 years.
5 to 9. My daughters are now 7 and 11. I started when my daughter was 5 and 8. So now 11 years old, I want to write now for slightly older.
Yeah. You want to change the age group now.
Yeah. So once I guess 12 books are done, I want to move on to the.
So it would become a set of 12 books for this age group, and then the next age group.
Yeah. I would like to do that. Yes.
Any particular books which you like from any other author for this particular 5 to 9 age group?
5 to 9, I would say 7 to 9. There is this author named Shruti Rao.
Okay.
Right? I love her books. I mean, I've contacted her also, like a big fan. It's very, she writes so well, and it's so funny. And the message she has also, it's such a beautiful message. The latest one I read was this Malhar in the Middle.
Okay.
I read that, and immediately on Instagram, I messaged her and I was like, how do you do it? How do you come up with such beautiful ideas? So, yeah.
What was your favorite book when you were a child?
When I was a child, I was totally into Enid Blyton.
Okay.
Especially her boarding school series.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
Malaritas and St. Clair's.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to dream about going to a boarding school and having that life that those girls were having. So, Enid Blyton.
So one thing which you would advise a budding author, one thing that they should always keep in mind.
I think that is something that I also have to internalize, but it is that to write well, you need to write bad too.
Oh, wow.
So the first thing you write might not be the best, your best work, and it could be the worst or it could be really bad. But in order to write well, you need to write bad. That means just keep writing. There will be bad pieces, there will be good pieces, but there will be great pieces as well. So I think the key is to just keep at it.
Oh, this is an excellent learning from today's session. I mean, this is, this would really help.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I've seen it with me also, right? Because when I started, I wanted every story to be like amazing and like,
oh yes.
When it's not that, you get so dejected and so disappointed. Then you feel like, then you start questioning, ki kya ye sahi choice tha? Is this my calling or maybe it's not? But it's not like that, even great writers write badly at some point of time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure like Harry Potter series ke pehle bhi she must have written something which was not as good. Like
definitely.
Yeah, so we tend to see only the best of everybody and then say ki we are not as good. So I think it's important to know that everybody has bad faces and you will also have, and it's important to have that bad face in order to get the best out of yourself.
Exactly. Any other thing apart from these two things which you are planning to get into? Any thoughts on the poetry part?
Poetry, I've never been a poetic person. I don't consider myself like a poet, and so I have never gotten into poetry or even read poetry.
Okay.
So that is something I've stayed away from. Maybe I can consider it in future. Who knows?
Okay. So nothing apart from being a proper children's book writer as of. Are you bringing out something for us also, for the adults also? We would love to read that.
If only I had so much of mental space ki simultaneously itna likh paun. I wish that was possible because ideas aate rehte na. I was like, yeah, I want to write a novel for adults also. I want to write for this also. I want to write, but it's a very slow process. So someday I wish to get there to write for adults. I feel like it's easier to write for adults because
actually,
yeah, it's as you think, right? Like
yes.
I have to go down and then think in their level and think what they will want to say
and what they would find interesting.
Yeah. It is definitely tougher.
Because as such, the children, their attention span is not, that great. So unless it is really interesting, they would not read it.
Absolutely, yeah. Right.
So this shows that you have written amazing stories, as they are very popular with the children.
Thank you. I hope.
And anything else you would love to share with our audience, Charulatha ji, before I bring this talk show to an end?
See, apart from the writing badly thing, there is another thing which stops a lot of people, right? It's fear. It's fear of other people won't like my story. Sometimes I have to tell this to myself also, and I want all the budding writers to know that write for yourself. Like write just
what you would,
and that authentic self will not come out unless that fear goes away.
Exactly.
So it's something for me also. It's a work in progress. That fear is always there. Ki, will this person like it? Will children like it? Will the parents buy it? And sometimes I tell myself like, don't think of all that. Just write. So I think that's also important. Other than writing badly, I think what is important is write for yourself. Like write with that, your true authentic self without giving a thought to anything else and without fearing anything else. That's
exactly.
That's something I would love to share.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was really a pleasure talking to you. Grishma, you would like
Yes,
to
yes.
ask something?
Yeah, no, not ask, but then it was a very fulfilling session. Thank you so much. So the way I got to know about Charulatha is I purchased her books for my younger one. She's
Oh,
5.5, and I love
okay.
them. I mean, as you said, the names, right from the names, Avni, Mira, Diya. I think those matter so much in the end because
Yeah.
we have always been. I think their first love was Peppa Pig, and it yet is. But then it is, these books are amazing. Thank you so much. And the part what you said about you have to write badly to become a good writer, that is so good, because I think my older one, she's 9, and she tries to write. She's a voracious reader, and she tries to write short stories. And sometimes when I read, I'm like, it's on the tip of my tongue. "Yaar, ye kya hai?" Matlab, but this point, I'm going to keep this in my mind throughout my life, that I need to just support and let her take her own baby steps and go ahead. Right. Oh, thank you so much for coming on our show. It was really enlightening, and I've learned so many things in just in 15-20 minutes. Thank you so much. And I hope, other women get inspired by your journey, the way you have been confident in switching
Yes, yes.
jobs. It's not easy in this world to like shift from a corporate job to come to become an author and find your passion. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much,
It was
Charul.
a pleasure. Yeah, I typically don't pick up like unknown numbers, and I just by chance that day I picked up your number.
I'm glad.
So I'm happy. I'm happy that I got it.
Yes,
We
definitely.
are also happy to have you and hope to have
Yes,
you on more talk shows, and hope
yes,
to have you on, maybe you can also become one of the juror for our writing competitions.
Sure, definitely.
yes.
And thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, ladies, goodbye from Inspiring Indian Women. I'm ending the show. Thank you so much, all of you. It's a
Thank you so
family,
much.
IIW. Thank you, Rachna.
Thank you, Rashmi ji. Thank you so much.